Hello everyone, wishing you all a very good afternoon. I hope all of you are fit, fine, safe, healthy, happy as always. Am I audible and visible to all of you? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Okay, so I guess I am audible and visible. In yesterday's class, we had discussed the force on a current carrying wire or a current carrying loop, magnetic force, torque, and we had seen different types of questions on that. That finishes this part. That part. Now we move on to EMI, electromagnetic induction. Now, as soon as we move on to EMI, we must first understand something which is known as magnetic flux. We all know what magnetic flux is, denoted by the letter phi. Magnetic flux is integral of B dot ds, right? Magnetic flux, the total number of magnetic field lines passing through a surface, open surface, closed surface, whatever surface. The total number of magnetic field lines that pass through that surface is known as flux. It is denoted by the letter phi, and the SI unit is Weber. We all know this, right? We also know that flux through any closed surface, if I make any closed surface, so I will write it like this: magnetic flux through any closed surface. We discussed in yesterday's class, right? How much is magnetic flux through any closed surface? If you have any closed surface, what will be the magnetic flux through that surface? No matter what type of magnetic field you have, uniform, non-uniform, doesn't matter. If the surface is closed, what type of, what will be the total magnetic flux linked with that closed surface? Anyone? Don't remember it? Magnetic flux through this closed surface? Zero. Remember this? Magnetic flux through any closed surface will be zero, because either you will be enclosing both poles of a magnet or you will be enclosing none of the poles of the magnet. It can't happen that you can enclose only one pole of the magnet, because a single pole magnet or a magnetic monopole does not exist. Magnetic field lines are always in closed loops. That means you cannot have an isolated north pole, you cannot have an isolated south pole. What you can have is north and south both together. You can't have isolated north and south poles. Do we remember this? Magnetic flux. That is what you got to remember now. As soon as this discovery was made, when Ørsted understood that a current carrying wire can create a magnetic field, that was Ørsted experiment. It had a current carrying wire and he had a compass. When you bring a compass close to a current carrying wire, the compass deflects. That shows us the presence of a magnetic field. That means electric current can produce magnetic field. As soon as this discovery was made, scientists started to think if the reverse of this is possible. And yes, the reverse of this is, can you create electric current from magnetic field? And a lot of experiments were done, and it was found out that changing magnetic field with time, or should I say changing magnetic flux with time. If you somehow change magnetic flux with time, you can create an EMF. An EMF is induced. And this EMF is induced until you keep on changing the magnetic flux with time. There are many ways in which you can change magnetic flux through with time. For example, you have a conducting loop like this, and you have a magnet north south. You bring this magnet closer, you will be changing magnetic flux with time. A current will be induced in the loop. When you get it farther, again the same thing happens. Magnetic flux linked with the loop changes with time. Whenever magnetic flux linked with a loop changes with time, if EMF is induced, if an EMF is induced, and that is Faraday's law. No matter how you change EMF, if you have an arrangement like this is the most famous question that comes everywhere. And you have a moving conductor like this, AB is the moving conductor, and then you have magnetic field inside this going in, and now you start to move this conductor. What happens when you start to move this conductor? The magnetic flux linked with this inner loop starts to change. Whenever magnetic flux starts to change with time, an EMF is induced in the coil. That EMF is known as induced EMF, and the value of this induced EMF is negative of rate of change of flux. This statement is known as Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and this EMF is known as induced EMF. This negative sign, the reason of this negative sign or the negative sign is given by Lenz's law. What does this Lenz's law state? This Lenz's law states, you must be aware of this. This Lenz's law states that the direction of this induced EMF, or for that matter, direction of this induced current, would be such that the EMF or current opposes the rate of change of flux, or in any ways it will oppose the change in flux, or it will oppose the cause of flux. It will try to oppose the cause of whatever is producing it. For example, in this case, when the magnet is getting close to the loop, induced EMF will be such that it will try to get the magnet away from the loop. So the direction of induced EMF or direction of induced current will be such that it opposes the motion of this magnet which is coming close to it. So it will try to repel it. Similarly, when this magnet is going away, the green one, when this magnet is going away, the green one, the flux is changing. The direction of induced EMF will be such that it tries to oppose this. By opposing this, what I mean, it will try to bring the magnet back towards itself. That is what is meant by this Lenz's law. We will do some examples for the direction of current created by this Lenz's law, found by this Lenz's law. But first, let us summarize the basic principles of this part. And the basic principle is this, that whenever you have magnetic flux linked with a coil, and this magnetic flux linked with the coil changes with time, you have an EMF which is induced in the coil. The value of this induced EMF is always equal to negative of the rate of change of flux. You all know this. Can I have some raise hand that we know this, sir? Okay. So I'll just quickly go through it and summarize the main points. Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction: whenever magnetic flux passing through a loop changes with time, or magnetic lines of force are cut by a conducting wire, then an EMF is produced in the wire of the loop. This EMF is known as induced EMF. If the circuit is closed, remember, this is a very important line here. Now, if I have a loop like this is an open loop. If I try to change the flux through that loop, an EMF is still induced in the loop. But in this loop, no current can flow. And hence, we do not say that there is an induced current. Faraday's laws always insist on induced EMF. It does not insist on induced current. As you might remember, the case of motional EMF. In motional EMF, I have a conductor which is moving inside the magnetic field. Now this conductor starts to behave like a battery because of induced EMF in that conductor. But current can only flow when there is a closed circuit, and therefore magnetic therefore Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction does not state current, it only states induced EMF. Magnetic flux is integral of B dot ds. The value of this induced EMF is minus d phi by dt. All of us know this. Negative sign is given by Lenz's law. We all know what is Lenz's law. We'll do some examples of this Lenz's law. Now, this is the induced EMF. How do you find the induced current? Induced current will be induced EMF divided by R, where R happens to be the total resistance of the loop. But this current will only flow if what?
Closed loop.
If the circuit is closed, else you will not have an induced current, because this current is known as induced current. You will only have induced EMF. So this becomes minus d phi by dt divided by R. Now induced EMF, as you can see, is inversely proportional to time. Induced current, as you can see, is inversely proportional to time. That means not only on the change of flux, how much you have changed the flux, it also depends on the time taken to change that flux. For example, if I'm changing a flux of 5 Weber, if I'm changing a flux of 5 Weber in 10 seconds, and if I'm changing the same flux of 5 Weber in 5 seconds, in which case there will be more EMF induced?
5 seconds.
In 5 seconds, because EMF or current is inversely proportional to time. The faster the change is, the more is the induced EMF or induced current. But if I talk about how much charge that is flowing through the circuit, how much charge that flows through the circuit. So if I write I as dq by dt, yes, beta, tell me.
Sir, Q equal to 5 by R.
Q is equal to 5 by R. The better way of the better way of
5 by R.
Change in phi beta, change in flux. It's not flux, it is change in flux.
Yes,
so
sir,
this and this dt goes away. So dq is minus d phi by R. So how much charge has flown? Delta q. How much charge has flown? Delta q is minus delta phi by R. This is the way of saying it. Not q is phi by R. Okay, got it? So
yes,
how much
sir.
charge has flown? Negative sign only indicates the direction. So let us forget about the direction. So how much charge has flown does not depend on time. So you change the flux by 5 Weber, whether in 5 seconds or 10 seconds, the charge that flows through the circuit remains same. But if you make it faster, the current is more, because current is dq by dt. So you understand the point?
Yes, sir.
So this is the basic premise. We'll do some direction wala thing on this class. Let us first do some simple questions, 1 or 2 simple questions. Example number 1, coil is placed in a constant magnetic field. The magnetic field is parallel to the plane of the coil as shown. Find the EMF induced in the coil. Now, whenever you are asked the question whether you have to find a EMF induced in the coil or for Lenz's law, I'll give you a certain number of steps that you must follow. Once you follow the step, everything will come clean. What is the answer in case number 1? Question number 1. The flux is 0 because phi is b dot a, right? Integral of b dot ds. Here the angle between b and ds is 90 degrees. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
There is no flux linked. If there is no flux linked, it will not change. So there is no induced EMF. What about the second case? Case number 2. Question number 2. Find the EMF induced in the coil shown in the figure. The magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of the coil. Magnetic field is here. Area is here. Magnetic field, remember, we have to think about area vector. Area vector is always outward. If it is a closed figure, it is radially outward. If it is an open surface, it could be outward or it could be inward. Do you remember that? I told you that, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What about the answer in the second case? Case number 2. The answer in second case is also 0. Even though there is a flux linked with the coil, the flux does not change. If the flux does not change, EMF does not get induced. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, the next set of questions are basically based on finding the direction of current. So basically let us first deal with how will you find the direction of current, and then we will come back to questions of this nature. How will you find the direction of induced EMF or induced current? Do you know this idea? Okay, let me just get to one example here, and the best way of doing this question is by examples. So what do I do here? I have two lines here. In between these two lines, there is magnetic field B. Now I have a circular or a rectangular loop of wire. Oops. I have a rectangular loop of wire which I am going to move with a constant velocity V. This is position A. This is position B. Oops. It has entered the loop. This is position C. It is inside the loop. This is position D. Remember, it is always moving with the same velocity V. And this is the position E when it has come out of the loop. Now, with this simple example, we'll try to understand how you can find the direction of magnetic, how you can find the direction of induced EMF or induced current
By Lenz law, sir. By
in any
Lenz,
given case. Yes,
by Lenz law, sir.
by Lenz law. So we'll try to apply Lenz law. Now, how to apply Lenz law? I'll just tell you my method of applying Lenz law. You ask yourself a number of questions and you find the answer to that questions. That will give you an idea of what is the direction of induced EMF. Let us do it for position number A. Position number A. First question is there any flux linked in the coil?
No, sir. 0.
No flux. So flux is 0. If flux is 0, it will not change. If it does not change, nothing happens. So the answer is 0. The induced EMF or induced current in this case is 0. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Let us move on to case number B. First question. Is there a flux linked with the coil? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, sir.
There is a flux which is linked with the coil. As you can see, this portion of the coil is inside the magnetic field. So there is flux linked with the coil. Number 2.
Current is 0, sir.
Number 2. Question number 2. Don't jump on to answers. Answers are not important. Questions are important. Question number 1 was, is there a flux linked with the coil? Answer is yes, flux is linked with the coil. Number 2, is the flux changing? Yes, the flux is changing. As it is moving in, what is happening? Area of the coil is increasing, which is inside the magnetic field. When the area of the coil, remember, flux is, how can you change flux? We will come to this question after this. How can you change flux? Either you can change B, or you can change A, or you can change theta, or you can change any two, or you can change all three. Here what is happening? B is not changing, theta is not changing. Area, which is inside the magnetic field, that is changing. So I come to question number 2. Question number 1, is there a flux linkage? Answer is no. Answer is yes, flux is linked. Number 2, is the flux changing? Yes or no?
Yes,
Is the
sir.
flux changing? Yes. Number 3, if it is changing, whether it is increasing or is it decreasing?
Increasing.
Flux is increasing. So now I have the idea that flux is increasing. Now what does Lenz law say? Oppose it. So if the flux is increasing, what will it try to do? It will try to decrease it. Now how will it try to decrease it? Remember this. Now flux does not have any direction. Okay, but this is just to understand. Now if flux is increasing, it or decreasing, it will always increase or decrease in the direction of magnetic field. Let us just assume that flux does not have any direction, but this is just to use Lenz's law, apply Lenz's law. We are understanding it. Flux is increasing. In which direction it is increasing? In the inward direction, because magnetic field is in the inward direction. Now I have to decrease flux, not I am induced EMF. I need to decrease the flux. So what will I do? To decrease the flux, I must decrease the magnetic field. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If I have to decrease the magnetic field, I have to create magnetic field outwards. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If I have to create magnetic field outwards, how should the current go?
Anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise. So the current induced in this case would be anti-clockwise. Did you get my point? I'll repeat how did I do it. Step number 1, is flux linked? Yes. Step number 2, is the flux changing? Yes. Step number 3, increasing or decreasing? Increasing. So what I need to do? I need to decrease it. How do I decrease it? Magnetic field is inside. I create magnetic field outside. To create magnetic field outside, thumb is a magnetic field. To create magnetic field outside, current must be anti-clockwise, and that is the answer for this case. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this? Sai, Jayant.
Yes, sir.
Let us move to case number 3. And we start with asking questions. What is the first question? Is the flux linked? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Question number 2, is the flux changing?
No, sir.
Flux does not change. Induced EMF is 0 because flux does not change. Rate of change of flux is 0. Remember, here the reason for EMF 0 is rate of change of flux 0. Here the reason for EMF 0 is flux is 0. Do you understand the difference between the two? Case number 1,
Sir.
no EMF because no flux. Case number C, case number 3, no EMF because no rate of change of flux. We come to position D. Is the flux linked? Is there a flux linkage in the coil? Yes. Is the flux changing? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Increasing or decreasing?
Decreasing.
So what you got to do? You have to increase it. How will you increase it? Create magnetic field in the same direction. In the same direction means create magnetic field in the inside direction. To create magnetic field in the inside direction, by right hand thumb rule, your current should go clockwise. So the answer in this case is clockwise. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
If we come to case E, is there a flux linkage?
No, sir.
So the flux is not linked, and the answer is 0 flux linkage and hence 0 EMF. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
This is a triangular shaped wire placed in a magnetic field. Magnetic field is B, like this. Now I keep a moving wire like this, and I move the wire like this with some velocity. Now let us see whether there is a induced EMF in the loop or not. Question number 1, is there a flux linkage in the loop?
Yes, sir.
Is the flux changing with time?
Yes, sir.
Increasing or decreasing?
Increasing.
What you got to do?
Decrease.
How do you decrease?
By opposing the magnetic field.
How do you oppose the magnetic field?
By current, sir.
By creating magnetic field in the opposite direction.
Yes, sir.
Opposite direction means I have to create magnetic field in the
Outward.
inward direction. See,
Yes, sir.
outward is this magnetic. Inward direction. To
Right.
create magnetic field in the inward direction.
Clockwise.
Clockwise direction. Do we understand this, or this is going above our heads?
Understanding.
This is a current carrying infinite wire. One loop is moving like this. Loop number A. One loop is moving like this. Loop number B. One loop is moving like this. Loop number C. You have to tell me the direction of, you can make more. Loop number D. You have to tell me the direction of flux. No. You have to tell me the direction of EMF induced in all the 4 loops. How will you do it?
Sir, for A and B, it will be 0. No
Why?
current.
Why will it be 0?
Because perpendicular distance is same. No?
What do you mean by perpendicular distance being same?
From the wire, sir.
So what does that imply?
Change in flux is constant.
Change in flux is not constant. Change in flux is
0.
Change in flux is 0. Flux is constant. There's a
Yes.
difference between change in flux is constant and flux is constant. In case number A and case number B, in case number A and case number B, is there a flux linkage? Yes, flux is linked. But is the flux changing? No, the flux is not changing because area is constant, angle is constant. B, magnetic field is also constant, nothing changes. So flux does not change. Since the flux does not change, there is no induced EMF in case A as well as case B. What is the answer for case C? Remember, this is the current carrying wire. How does inward direction does it create field at point C? At point C, it creates field in the inward direction. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
On this side, it creates field in the inward direction. Now you ask yourself question for point C, for the loop C. Is there a flux linkage? Question number 1. Is there a flux linkage?
Yeah.
Is the flux change?
Decreasing.
Is the flux changing?
Yes, sir. Decreasing.
How do you oppose it?
By outward.
By increasing it.
Yes, sir.
How do you increase it?
By clockwise current.
By clockwise current, because you have to create magnetic field in the same direction. So clockwise current should move. If I had created one more case here, say case number E like this, what will be the direction of current in case number E?
Anti-clockwise current.
In case number E, it would be anti-clockwise because now I need to decrease the flux. What is the answer for case number E? You ask yourself.
Anti-clockwise current.
Why anti-clockwise current? So on this side of the figure, you must understand that magnetic field is coming outwards. You ask the questions, is there a flux linkage in link coil D? Yes. Is the flux changing? Yes. Increasing or decreasing? It is going away. Magnetic field is decreasing, so the flux is decreasing. If the flux is decreasing, I have to increase it. How do I increase it? Create magnetic field in the same direction. Same direction means outwards, outwards, outwards. So the current has to be anti-clockwise. Do we understand this logic? Do you
Yes, sir.
understand this logic? Okay. One more logic I have to tell you. If instead of a if instead of a if instead of a wire you have a magnet. Now this magnet is coming close to it. Case number one, magnet is coming close. What will be, this is a loop. Half loop is outside, half loop is inside the plane. What will be the direction of induced EMF in this loop? How can you find it out? There are different ways in which you can do this. Basically,
Anti-clockwise.
why anti-clockwise? Anti-clockwise looking from where? See, if I look from here, it is for you, this is anti-clockwise, but for me it is clockwise. No, for you it is clockwise, for me it is anti-clockwise. So you
From
must
front.
from front, which is the front? Let me say this is the front, this is the back. From here. So remember, there are many ways to do this. The simplest way, I'll tell you, I'll not go into the north pole is coming towards you. North pole is coming towards you. You have to oppose it. So you have to create a north. To create a north, this is north. Remember, magnetic dipole, north. Current carrying loop, north. This is the north. You have to create north like this. So this will be the direction of current. Are you getting my point? Getting my point?
Yes,
Or
sir.
you can write north ka n like this. North ka n like this. So north means the current has to be anti-clockwise. Got it?
Yes, sir.
If I pull it back, you have to bring north closer. So you have to create south. If you have to create south, you write south ka S like this. So south means clockwise basically. Okay? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we just move on and see magnetic flux is BA cos theta. Okay. In most of the cases, what will happen? Any one of these will change. Any one of these will change. You can also change two, you can also change three, you can make a lot of questions where all have changed. But in most cases, only one has changed. Now, whatever one has changed, you have to just differentiate that with time and you will get the induced EMF. So induced EMF is always equal to minus d phi by dt. Are you getting my point? So either it will be minus b into a into d by dt of cos theta if you are changing theta with time. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
How do I change theta with time?
By rotating.
By rotating it in a magnetic field. This is how EMF is induced in a generator. Generator, we have turbines. In a water turbine system, in this hydroelectric power station, that turbine is run by water falling from a height. Turbine runs. When turbine runs, on the other end of the turbine, you have a coil. That coil rotates and EMF is induced, AC current. So this is to get the value of DC, AC current, right? Cos theta ka derivative is sin theta, na? So you get plus BA cos theta ka derivative sin theta, and theta is omega t, so sin omega t multiplied by omega. This BA omega becomes your E naught. So E becomes E naught sin omega t. That becomes your AC current, which is the next chapter. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Where this E naught becomes the maximum value of EMF, which is omega BA multiplied by N if there are N number of turns and you're talking about magnetic flux in one turn. So NBA omega. Okay, this is how you create, induce, EMF or AC current or AC voltage. Now, if you don't change theta, what you can change is B into cos theta into dA by dt. You can change area with time. What are the ways in which you can change area? Here you see case number 1, you are changing area here, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In case number B, the area is increasing. In case number D, the area is increasing. This is one way of changing the area. Here you can see the other way of changing the area. You're only changing the area here, na? Area of the coil, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The other way is you have a circular coil, you convert it into a rectangular coil or a triangular coil, you are changing the area. You will hardly have this question, but you can have question of this nature, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, whatever questions you have for changing area, by changing area, this question is done by the concept of motional EMF. Whenever you see the conductor moving, somehow, not rotating in a magnetic field, moving in a magnetic field, rotation is different and moving is different. In case number 1, we are talking about rotational motion. In case number 2, we are talking about translational motion. Do you understand the difference now?
Yes, sir.
So whenever we are talking about this motion of this conductor and area being changed, we are talking about, we have to solve that question using what? Motional EMF. Do we get this?
Yes, sir.
The third way is by changing magnetic field with time. Now, whenever you change magnetic field with time, this concept comes under the purview of your induced electric field. Have you heard this concept of induced electric field? Have you heard this concept of induced electric field?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll deal with them one by one. There might be some questions on this and this. So in first case, we will have some general questions, and then we will go on and do some specific questions based on each of them. Are we ready? Once this is done, then you move on to inductors and other part. Basically, you got to do only 3 cases here. That's it. Chale, let's move.
Yes, sir.
So let me move from here to here, and let us see where we are. Chalo, we start with this question. Simple one. Example number 3. Tell me the answer. Find the direction of induced current in the coil shown in the figure. Magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of coil and it is increasing with time. So this comes under which case? This comes under which case?
Change in magnetic.
Case number
Sir.
3, induced electric field. Yes, beta.
Yes, sir. Case 3.
Case 3. Okay. Tell me the answer. What will be the direction of induced current in this coil?
Anti-clockwise, sir.
Do I have to explain it?
No, sir.
Example number 4. Figure shows the coil placed in a decreasing magnetic field applied perpendicular to the plane of the coil. Again, this is case number 3. The magnetic field is decreasing at the rate of 10 teslas per second. Find the magnitude. First, tell me the direction.
Clockwise, sir.
Why clockwise?
Because we should keep inside, sir.
We should keep
Magnetic. Inside magnetic field. Inwards.
the magnetic field is decreasing with time. So what we got to do?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
should
sir.
keep
Yes, sir. What, sir?
Outside thumb, sir.
Outside
Anti-clockwise.
term, sir. Why, sir? Because we have to increase it, sir. It is coming outside, sir. So we have to increase it in the outward direction, sir. That is how you can increase it. That is why it is anti-clockwise, sir. We understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the answer. What is the answer? Next thing is the answer. What is the angle between B and A here? In most of the cases, the angle is going to be 0 degree or 180 degree. Whenever you have a question of changing magnetic field, either 0 or 180. Do you know this, na? This is the answer. Magnetic flux is B dot A, and you have the answer. Yes or no?
Yes.
Chalo, there are one or two more questions here, but I think you can do this. Okay, just do them. Because one of these questions will come in the examination hall, and you will be puzzled. Do this one. Oops, which one? This one. Figure shows a coil placed in a magnetic field decreasing at the rate of, again, case number 3, 10 Tesla per second. There is also a source of EMF in the coil. Find the magnitude and direction of current in the coil. They have put an additional EMF. Does that make any difference to our thing?
Yes, sir. Change in voltage equal to IR.
Okay. So basically, how much is the induced EMF? First of all, you have to find out induced EMF is B into A, dB by dt into A. So dB by dt is 10, A is 2. So the induced EMF is 30 volt. Now you have to see the direction of that induced EMF. What will be the direction of induced EMF? Magnetic field is decreasing, so we need to increase it. So it must be anti-clockwise. Now to create anti-clockwise direction, what should be the, to create anti-clockwise current, the battery should be placed in that manner in which it is put. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this battery is actually opposing the original battery. Yes or no? So the net EMF becomes 10 volt and you have 2 ampere current moving clockwise. Got it?
Yes, sir, got it.
Well done. Move on to the next one. Emotional EMF. It's not emotional. It is motional EMF. What is motional EMF? Whenever you have a conductor of any length moving inside a magnetic field with a velocity v, what happens? You can think it of as it has been converted into a battery. You know how this happens? It has a large number of electrons and protons. Protons will move in one direction, electrons will move in the other direction, and because of this motion, they will create an electric field, and at one point in time this electric force and magnetic force will balance, and the motion of this electron and proton will stop, and one terminal will come at the higher potential and one terminal will come at a lower potential, and there will be a potential difference created between these two, which will be given by V cross B dot dl. Do you remember this? Scalar triple product.
Yes, sir.
Which terminal is at a higher potential? How do you find out? You do V cross B in whatever direction your fingers go. That terminal becomes your positive terminal and the other terminal becomes your negative terminal. Do you remember this or not? Do you remember this or not?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember that this is a scalar triple product and there is a special property of scalar triple product? What is that property?
If three are mutually perpendicular, then all product of magnitudes.
Eh? What is the property of scalar triple product which is useful to us right now, right here? If any two are parallel, the scalar triple product becomes
0.
any two are parallel, the scalar triple product becomes 0, and that is what you need to remember and understand. Now what I'll do is I'll make some cases here, and these cases will cover almost 90 to 95% of the questions that you will ever encounter in this chapter. So I'll just give you those cases fatafat. Case number 1. My AB conductor is like this. My velocity is perpendicular. Length is L. Magnetic field is inside. In this case, what happens? It gets converted into a battery. And it looks like this. How did I get the positive terminal and how did I get the negative terminal? I did V is here, B is inside. I did V cross B and see where my fingers are pointing. My fingers are pointing towards A. So A becomes the positive terminal, B becomes the negative terminal. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And the value of the induced EMF will be how much in this case? V, B, L, because all are perpendicular to each other. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What's our next, sir? Next is the case where I have case number 2. AB is like this, length is L, velocity is like this, or velocity is like this. What will be the answer here now? If I move it like this or if I move it like this, what will be the answer here? I move it parallel to its length. What will be the answer here?
0.
Magnetic field is here or magnetic field is here. What will be the answer? EMF is 0. Do we understand this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Scalar triple product. Remember scalar triple product. I have A and B like this. I have magnetic field inside. I have V also inside. Yeah, V also V outside or magnetic field outside. In this case, what will be the induced EMF?
0.
Why 0?
Parallel or anti-parallel.
Parallel or anti-parallel? A, B. Now I have velocity like this at an angle theta. Now magnetic field is inside. Now I break it up into two components. One component here and one component here. Are you getting my point? I call this V perpendicular and I call this V parallel. Do you understand the reason why?
Yes, sir. For V parallel 0.
V parallel is 0. The only thing is V perpendicular. So now this battery looks like this. Yes or no? This is A, this is B. How did I get the positive terminal? V cross B, tung. A becomes the positive terminal, B becomes a negative terminal. Yes or no?
Yes.
What is the value of induced EMF in this case? V perpendicular BL. Do we understand this?
Yes,
Do we
sir.
understand this? Remember here magnetic field is uniform. Velocity is also uniform. I can make various cases where the velocity is not uniform. We'll see those cases as well. Don't worry. Okay. What next? I have a random shaped loop, closed loop now. And I move it with a velocity V in a magnetic field B. What is the induced EMF in this case? Bolo? All these cases are going to cover almost 95-98% of the questions that can come in the examination, which is based on uniform fields. If it's non-uniform field, then the answers are different.
Sir, 0.
Why it is 0?
Area is constant.
No change in flux. Well done. Now I make this case. I have a random loop. This is point A. This is point B. Velocity is perpendicular. And then I put it in a magnetic field B. And the shortest length is given as L, straight line. And this is perpendicular to this. What is the answer now? How do I replace it by a battery now? V cross B. V becomes positive. A becomes positive. B becomes negative. V cross B. V cross B. A becomes positive. B becomes negative. And remember, it is equal to VBL. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
How did I get this? How did I get this? How did I get this? I
V
see.
cross B, sir.
Huh?
V cross B.
A cross B. But
We
how did
get
I get?
that.
Huh?
3 are
See,
mutually perpendicular.
see, if I complete the loop by this straight line, the EMF in this loop is 0. So whatever EMF is induced in the curved part, same EMF of opposite sign is induced in the lower part. And I found that EMF. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Both batteries are connected in the same way. Positive terminal is at A, negative terminal is at B. So both those batteries will cancel out. बात समझ में आई?
Yes, sir.
आगे बढ़े? Now I make this general case. I have this random shape loop A, B, joining straight line is of length L, and I have V at an angle theta, and I have a magnetic field B. How do I convert it into a battery? What is the answer for this one? Bolo?
B perpendicular into L.
Which is the higher terminal, which is the lower terminal? Which is the higher terminal, which is the lower terminal?
Yes, sir. Anti-clockwise.
A is higher terminal, right? A is at higher potential. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then I come to this one, last one. I have this rod of length L rotating in a magnetic field O A with an angular velocity omega. What is the answer now in this case? Now here something has changed. What has changed? What has changed? Bolna. What has changed? The velocity of different points are different. So we have to integrate it and find it out.
Yes, sir.
So you remember this result. What is the result of this? Now see, if I look at any point, the velocity will be like this, right? So V cross B, V cross B. So which is at a higher potential? O is at a higher potential and A is at a lower potential. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Induced EMF is half V omega L square. Got it? Let's remember this. How did I do it? I break it up into small parts. Velocity of this part will be omega into x. Induced EMF will be omega x dx. Integrate that from 0 cell, you get L square by 2. That is how you get it. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, if this rod would have been if this rod would have been in this position, then which is at a higher potential and which is at a lower potential? The rod comes this side. Does anything change? Which point is at a higher potential, O or B?
Only.
O only, sir. In this case, the battery will be like this. This will be B, this will be O. So what is the potential difference between O and B? What is the potential difference between O and B?
B omega L square.
What is the potential difference between A and B? O and B is half B omega L square. What is the potential difference between A and B?
B omega L square.
Stupid. 0. O and B is half omega B L square. A and O is also same. O is at a higher potential. So what is the potential difference between A and B? 0.
0, sir.
0. Equipotential points. Remember this because we'll be using this concept in the next class. I'll give you more cases. Ring rotating, ring rolling, ring this, ring that, cylinder this, cylinder that. So then you have to remember this. Then only you can solve that question. So I'll wind up today's class on this. There are a lot of examples here as I see in the notes. You have got these notes in your group? Got these notes in your group? Yes or no? You got these notes in your group?
No, sir.
You will get it. I have already sent it. It would be there probably when you were in class. You would have got it in your group. Lots of examples there. Just do this example data, and I can assure you that you will sail through in physics. Just do this example. Don't do. I'm not sending you much questions because you will get confused. There's no time left. Only do this. Whatever are solved in this part. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Chalo then we'll meet in the next class. Do as many questions on emotional EMF as possible, and we'll meet in the next class. I'll wind up with this all rolling things and all that, so you'll get a very good idea about emotional EMF. Then we'll move on to that dB by dt. Probably I will be by finding this dB by dt by tomorrow, and then in last class we can move on to inductor and inductances. Okay, so that's how I will plan. In 3 to 4 classes, I should be able to finish your EMI. That's what my plan is. Chalo, I leave you on this note. You will get this sheet, solve it, try it. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, bye bye.